What's up, YouTube? Tucker with Next Level Freight. Back to give you guys another update on my trucking journey, my trucking experience. So today I want to talk about my worst day in trucking, man. 2 accidents in one day. Before I get over into the story, I do want to preface it by saying this. There's a lot of super truckers out here, man. The super truckers, the dudes that, quick to criticize anyone in this industry who's ever made a mistake. They're the guys who, see a guy struggling to back in, getting ready to hit something and pull out their phone and record versus, trying to help another trucker, get through it, especially someone that's new. No one starts off in this industry a veteran, so no one starts off as a super trucker. So if you are driving an 18 wheeler, if you are in this big behemoth of a vehicle, at some point you were new and it was, anxiety ridden. It was nerve wracking. You were scared. It was hard. So, yeah, I just want to preface it by saying this, man, because I always run into these guys. You would think they're a veteran from day one, the way they talk, but I'm not, above getting on here and telling you guys, some of the mistakes that I've made. And 2 accidents in one day is definitely categorized as a mistake, most definitely. So, what I want to do is we'll get over into the weekly updates. Let's go over these numbers real quick so you can see what we ran, what the numbers look like, and then I'll get into the story of my 2 accidents in one day and how we got through it. Let's go ahead and switch over. All right, so let's go over these numbers real quick. It's a little bit lower than what it usually is, at least for the last 30 weeks, and I think I predicted that would happen. This industry, when you're working the spot market, it's like 90% luck, 10% skill, in my opinion. I've definitely gotten better at dispatching, but I wouldn't say it's so much of has gotten better. More so, it's just, we've started to run some lanes and connect with some brokers who then hit us up and tell us, hey, we got this lane. So it decreases the amount of work that you got to do getting on the DAP board and calling brokers you've never worked with, doing setup carrier packets. So, it's fine. We did a little bit more deadheading, which is driving empty. If you're not familiar with the term, driving empty to get to another spot. Normally, you'd like to deliver and then drive a short distance to your next pickup. That wasn't the case this week because we had to kind of makeshift some loads that we had lost. Santa Clarita load that I was doing 4 days a week slowed down a lot. We didn't get any this particular week, so it definitely affected our overall number. So, but good news is my guy Zach over at Zengistics hit me up here pretty recently and said they should be back with those Santa Clarita lows, so he should be hooking me up this week. So hopefully we get back to getting the numbers that we were getting the last 3 weeks. Gross, we got $6,421. And that was on 1,822 miles, which is $3.52 per mile. Not bad. I always got to give you guys the national average. You go look at what dry vans are making that are doing it over the road. It's floating around $2 per mile, fluctuating 2 cents up or down, and it's been that way for a while now. So $3.52 per mile, I can't even complain. On that, we spent $1,302 on fuel. I don't know what the average is for California. I know Pilot's definitely screwing up the average because their diesel is still like $5 a gallon. I can't tell you as an owner operator how many times I've been there recently. It's maybe once to get fuel because I was in a bind, but I just will not get fuel there. They got theirs in Otay Mesa for $5.19 a gallon. I got a spot in Rialto, I think it's $4.19. You know what I'm saying? So you're talking about $1 difference when you're running, a significant amount of miles. If you're not looking for the cheapest diesel prices, you're not doing everything you can as an owner operator and as a business owner to increase profit. So I think we do all right on diesel considering we're in, the highest, the state with the highest diesel prices probably in the country. We're top 2 for sure. So those are the numbers. Not bad. Get this closed up. Let's go ahead and get over into this story, man. I do want to give you guys some context. I do think it's important. I got the truck. Some of this information I've already said in previous videos, but let me just go through it real quick. Got the truck 2021 October. I had never driven a truck before in my life. I had drivers. I was still working a 9 to 5, an office job, and then doing armed security at night. So I had never actually driven a truck. Couple drivers fired, couple drivers quit. I think one of the last ones we both agreed to kind of mutually go separate ways because he was a good driver and the truck just kept breaking down, just wasn't working out. So at that point, I was going to lose the truck. I maxed out some credit cards. So it was like, man, I got to get in this thing if I want to save the business. What I wanted to do, which is funny, is I wanted to get some experience before I actually got into my truck, just so I could feel more comfortable. Even if it was a couple of months, get in, drive someone else's truck, and then quit. I could not find a job, man. They were not hiring new drivers. And the one place that was, I got an interview for U.S. Foods over in La Mirada. So the verbal interview, great. The fact that I own the truck company, I can kind of fib on how much experience I had. So I did that. And then when it came time for the driver test for U.S. Foods in La Mirada, California, I failed that shit miserably. They wouldn't even give me a job. That's how bad of a driver I was. I had no experience. So the first time I ever drove a truck, and the only truck I've ever driven in my life, has been my truck. So okay, bam, I get my truck. I decide I got to get into it. La Mirada, U.S. Foods won't hire me. We book our first load. First load is like maybe 20 miles, probably like Ontario to like Rialto or something. So we do it and we get through it. It's a little shaky, but no problem. Okay, now it's time to get it up a notch. I need more money. Truck payments coming up, trailer payments coming up. I'm in panic mode. So we decide that we're gonna book a load to Phoenix. So we get our load, we book it to Phoenix. The first day that I'm driving, I witness a truck uh, merge left and damn near just destroy like a Honda Civic. He hits them with their back tires. He got over, tried to merge left so that he could avoid me because I was on the side of the road with my triangles up. I had just kind of had like a mini panic attack, low key. So I pulled over to the side of the road to put my triangles up just so I could catch my breath. He seen my truck and being like, some truckers, when there's guys on the side of the road, they try to get over and help you out, just, safety reasons. So he does that and he hits another truck, hits another car. So he's panicking. He pulled over and runs up to me and was like, "Oh my God, like, did you see what just happened?" I'm freaking out because this is like my second day of trucking, man. And I'm already nervous and scared. So I'm like, holy shit, like I just witnessed, like that could easily be me. It's terrifying. But nevertheless, we ended up kind of coming to grips with that after an hour, drink some water, drink energy drink, and then we kept on keeping on. Got to Phoenix, delivered the load. Took us probably an hour to Alley Dock, but they were patient. They worked with us. Okay, bam, we got it. Okay, now it's time for my second load. This load is I think like somewhere close to Phoenix going to El Paso. So we pick it up and we get over to El Paso, and not a ton of problems getting there. Those back roads are not too bad. But okay, so here's the first accident. Okay. So when you're driving a semi truck and you're going out, let's say you're gonna make your right. It's not like a car. And everyone who drives a truck knows this, but if you have not driven a truck before, it's not like a car. You can't just bang that right. You gotta take that truck up a certain distance, right? Before you bend that right so that you can clear the curb, the pole, whatever's on your right, right? So I was like, I kept kind of drilling that in my head because I just kept picturing that I was going to hit something turning right. So I take it all the way out. I take it as far out as I can, right? So I'm taking it as far as that I can. Directly in front of me is an exit ramp for a freeway. So trucks that are exiting the freeway are coming this way, and then I'm coming this way, and then banging my right. So I'm sitting here looking at the curb and pole area as I'm making my right, not paying attention to what's going on in front of me. So there's a semi truck flying off the exit, and I'm going straight, and I'm just going right at him as he's coming off. He tries to speed up, but I end up clipping the back of his trailer. Luckily, I just banged up his wheel. I think I knocked out like his air hose for his wheel. Dented the bottom of the trailer a little bit, but not too much damage. But the scary part about this is, excuse me, when I got my truck, I had no experience, so my insurance kind of finagled something. I wasn't on the policy, and I signed something that I wasn't on the policy. I had about a couple of more months before I could get on the policy because I would have had my CDL for the time that they required, but I was not allowed really to drive that truck, which is weird because I owned the truck, but I couldn't drive it, and I had signed something saying I wouldn't drive it, but it was like a desperate time. So I'm instantly panicking because like I'm not on the insurance, da 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 da. So that ended up working out in the long run because I paid for it out of pocket. Insurance never got involved, so there was no issue. But that was, it was a problem. It was a problem for sure. Okay, so we hit that guy. We, he gets my information. We exchange information. So the front of my truck is banged up, knocked off my bumper, um, knocked off my headlight or damaged my headlight, cracked my headlight, some other little minor like stuff in the front. So I still need to deliver this load, and I'm in El Paso. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get to somewhere to where I can get my truck fixed. I've already kind of handled the situation with him. At that time, things are still up in the air, but I'm thinking I'm just going to pay for this out of pocket because it's not a ton of damage, and I'm just going to keep on keeping on. So I go over to a pilot, I think like a pilot or a TA or something over in El Paso, and then they take a look at it and they say, hey, yeah, we can't fix it. It's not a problem. It's going to be this amount of money, but I'm busy right now. Come back at another time, come back maybe in a couple hours and we'll fix it for you, which is perfect for me. So I'm still a little rattled as I'm leaving the parking lot, to this place, to fix the truck for my first accident. Uh, I have to exit the parking lot, and it's not a right where you just go out and you make your right. Like it's not. I don't even know the word. You're not going out straight and then making your right. It's like you're going out straight and then like it's like a V. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take your truck out even further in order to clear that curb and that pole. So my first accident, I took it out too far, clearly, and I clipped the truck coming out because I was too worried about hitting that pole. So this is my second turn. On my second turn, I don't take it out far enough. Now I'm worried about what I'm gonna hit in front of me. So I'm not even paying attention to what's on my right. I go out, I start bending my right, and all I hear is just the pole is in my trailer, like big ass light pole, and I'm hearing people behind me honking, honk, 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 honk. I look out, man, and I at that point, I had in my head, I had given up. I'm like, look, this it's just not for me, man. It's just not for me. I can't get out of my own way. I'm able to like back up a little bit, pull out further, and then make my right. And I had a pretty significant size hole in the side of my trailer, right smack dead in the middle of it from that pole. And I was done. I was done, man. I had to, call my girl. I think I called my homie, and which is kind of ranting and just trying to figure it out. We ended up finding a guy who could fix it. That cost us a couple $1,000, but at the time I thought it was over. At the time I thought I was done. Once kind of figured it all out and calmed down a little bit, we were able to get it fixed. But this is just all in one day, man. Imagine, driving, hitting somebody's truck, not being on the insurance, having to figure that out, and thinking you good and you got away. And less than an hour and a half later, you get into another accident and damage the whole right side or the middle of your trailer on the right side. A big ass hole, baseball size hole in the side of your trailer. So, uh, clearly we got through it because we're still here. We're giving you guys updates with numbers and making money. But that is my horror story, man. This video ended up being longer than anticipated, but I did want to get you guys that information. Let me let you guys go, man, because I got a movie to see and I got a load to pick up tonight. But if you're out there, if you're having a hard day backing in, if you're having a hard day driving, if you just got started, you're not alone. Everyone's, had an issue. Some people worse than others. You'll get through it. Breathe. Have confidence in yourself. Have confidence in your ability, and keep on keeping on, man. That's all I can say. So I'll talk to you guys next week. You guys have a good one. God bless you. Keep the wheels moving. Peace.